Right, I'm going to try and make it through game 2 here. God, that game 1 was a bloodbath, man, a bloodbath. Griffin won the first game, and you know, arguably AimieW should have won the first game. He sure killed enough Marines to win the first game, but didn't. It is AimieW in the top left. It is Griffin in the bottom right. Yeah, did they just play Death Aura for both games? Hope I haven't accidentally already casted this game or something. We'll see. AimieW is this looks awfully similar. Are they just playing on the same map and they both just play the exact same thing? Is that what I'm seeing? It could be. It could be. Or I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know. My head's a bit fried, I'll be honest with you. After watching so many Marines die unnecessarily, I feel a bit cut up about that, to be honest. You know, it was made for unpleasant viewing. It really did. Anyway, we'll see. AimieW is going to scout. So there's a worker heading across the map here. It's going to go through the high-speed babulas. Here it goes. I imagine that's the noise an SCV makes as it goes through those. Might, you know, who knows? It is Griffin that gets an expo down first. Griffin is also building a reactor, and you know, I didn't like reactor first in the last game, and I don't like it in this game either. AimieW not far behind with his own expo. He is going tech lab first, and bunker in exactly the same. Have I already seen this game? Is that what's happening here? I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, who knows? So, hang on. Did the worker? No, it's different, isn't it? It is a different game. Last time, I'm sure, like AimieW had a Reaper or something come across the map, and there was a Reaper involved. This time, no Reaper. It's just the SCV that somehow gets past 2 Marines and comes in and has a good old look around. So it's just that both of them are building the exact same stuff in exact same places. That's all it is. No upgrades coming out of the tech lab just yet for AimieW, but you know, he's got this bunker at the front door. In the last game, you know, having a bunker and 4 siege tanks at the front door certainly helped a lot. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see him do that again, because you know, it won is what it did. When all those Marines turned up, it won in no uncertain terms. It's triple racks this time, with a tech lab coming up on the second racks for Griffin, and that can only be a good thing. You need to get combat shield, you need stim, you need these things. It's what you need. It's good for you. Yeah, dropping mules, doing everything normal, just not building workers is my beef here. AimieW not building workers. Griffin is building workers from that CC, but not this one. This guy, unbelievable, despicable. What is this? Look at him. Look at him. Just the sheer nerve. Just skiving off. He's holding a chunk of minerals so he can like pretend that he's working, but he's not working, is he? He's not working. He's just skiving. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, breaks my heart to see paid SCVs just skiving in that way. Mateys are all standing about. They've got their guns. They're ready to go. They're itching to have something to shoot. So hopefully it won't be too long before they get something to shoot. AimieW, meanwhile, building another barracks, has got a factory, and that is good. Is also building a starport. So 211 looking very straight up for AimieW. Stim being researched with combat shield already done. Griffin has got the tech lab. Stim is being researched for Griffin as well, but no combat shield done just yet. The reactor on the starport, I don't mind. Lets you get those medevacs out 2 at a time, and that's pretty sweet. yeah, the orbital here finally beginning to build some SCVs, and the engineering bay coming down as well. I quite like to see that. So both of these players gearing up to build some sort of pretty standard Terran army with siege tanks, marines, medevacs. What we don't see from any of our Terrans yet is really enough marauders in the mix, because they can really add some meat to your army in terms of being able to take fire. Also, if you get the concussive shell upgrade, that can take the edge off Stim Marines, slow them down an awful lot, and allow your Stim Marines to get away from them or out micro them. So it's double eBay for Griffin. He's going to be trying to get those upgrades 2 at a time. Hasn't started them just yet, but I'm sure he will soon. Second factory coming down for AimieW, and we're going to see some Cyclones. And I don't mind that. If you are going to go Cyclones, that mag field accelerator upgrade from the tech lab on a factory is extremely important. Now, Cyclones can be very useful. They can, a lot you can do with a Cyclone. They have this lock-on ability, and once locked on, their range is basically an entire screen length. So you can kind of run them forward, get a lock on, say, a medevac, and then just run about the place with them out of harm's way so that they're not getting shot, and they will just continue to dole out that damage. So a single lock on will kill a medevac, and that can be fantastic. It can take a bit of micro. By default, auto lock on is enabled once you've got that mag field upgrade. So if you just kind of run in, they will lock onto the first thing they see. So in general, you don't want that. In general, you want to switch that off. You want to switch off the auto lock on so that you can choose what they lock on to. Because generally, there's no point in having a Cyclone shoot a Marine. You want them to lock onto expensive targets like medevacs, and focus those down. The Cyclones are going to come forward here. What I'd really like to see from AimieW, because he's got the double factory, if he knows that he's going to be against a lot of Marines, I'd love to see Hellbats come out with Blue Flame upgrade, because they can be fantastically effective against Marines, or maybe a lot of Widow Mines with the burrowing, I've forgotten the name of it, with the Widow Mine upgrade that makes them like burrow into the ground, drilling claws faster and unburrow faster, and also means that they it used to mean that they you see the auto lock-ons, and now they can just run away, but unfortunately the auto lock-ons are on Marines, and it takes time for that ability to recharge. You don't want to stand and fight with these, because that's not what they're for. So AimieW, I think, is just getting to grow. Oh, I love it. I love it. Just run round. He's going to get in and see stuff. What the hell? AimieW just getting to, I think, just learning how to work Cyclones there. Has decided to build a few and see what they do. And that's kind of fine. The type of unit they are, on their own, not really that useful. One of the things they're brilliant for is have one in your base, and if something like an Oracle comes in to kill your stuff, it can lock onto it and kill it. If a drop comes in, it can lock onto the medevac and kill it. Looks like we're going to see a fast battlecruiser. I say fast, 8.5 minutes isn't necessarily a sort of rush or anything, but anyway, we're going to see battle cruisers come out for AimieW, and I like it. A battle cruiser can be fantastic. Sneak it in round the edge of the map, just run it in here. It'll focus on these workers. They can shoot while they're moving, so they can just be so annoying to catch. They just fly backward and forward, shooting as they go, and in the event that it does look like you're going to catch them, they can just blink out. They can just teleport to the other side of the map. Tactical jump, it's called. So battle cruisers, quite popular these days. Certainly they were for a while there. Most people now have got to grips with how to see them off, but we haven't seen enough of them in the EMS league for anybody in our tournament to really know how to deal with them. So I'd really like to see some more battlecruiser play. Let's see what these units are about to crash into. So the siege tank, this Widow Mine is burrowed. Widow Mine's burrowed. This is going to get ugly, I feel. The Widow Mines are going to fire, and it isn't quite enough to kill all of this stuff. You can see these Marauders standing strong. A lot of the Marines did get killed. 39 In fact, this stuff that's coming forward, you know, is just going to die. The siege tank sieged up at the back here. We'll just see to that. So AimieW did a pretty reasonable job of that defense. You know, there wasn't quite enough there initially to hold, but sensibly lifted the orbital, flew it away, and as a result saved it. So let's have another look. We saw you know, yeah, certainly lost some units, but traded really efficiently, killed 58 of his opponent's units for only 25 of his own, only lost 4 workers, and did not lose the CC. So ultimately that's a very effective hold. He can just fly this command center back into location and get on with business. Has given away the fact that he's got battle cruisers, but there are more in production. I'd like to see the other 2 starports come online. You've got plenty of money. So battlecruiser blinks across the map and is now just up in his opponent's base slaying stuff. So already sort of 3 or 4 workers getting dead. Is probably going to have to get out of there at this stage, and he can just run it straight out of there. I don't know about coming across diagonal. No, run. If the Griffin hits the stim button, you're dead. You've lost this battlecruiser for no reason. You needed to run. So that diagonal movement, you're just playing with fire. But now you can sweep down. You know, all of this stuff has got a long way to go. In general, I much prefer the fly the battlecruiser in and use the tactical jump to get it out. I much prefer that, because you can just fly it in here, be slaying out the damage, and as your opponent stims forward, you just hit the tactical jump and you're off. You're back home being repaired. So that's the, you know, each to their own. It doesn't really matter. It's still a nice bit of battlecruiser harass. Now, if nothing else, AimieW got to see what's inside the main base. You know, only 11 kills. I say only. Several of those were Marines. Not that many workers killed, but there's not that many workers in the main base. So I'd have quite liked to have seen it in here, putting some hurt on them, because you know, abuse this ledge. You can just be so obnoxious. You can fly around here, kill this stuff. When the Marines move down into this area, you just fly up here and you start picking off tech labs and factories. The Marines come back around this way, you fly back down that way. You know, use the geography, be a bit annoying with it, and that can only be a good thing. What have we got going on here? I've just had stuff delivered. Literally, it's in my porch and I've been sat here the whole time. That is a lot of mule, isn't it? So Griffin's income is about to go absolutely ballistic as these mules get to work mining. That is a big income advantage, hitting the 3,500. Whoa, there we go. That's the effect of the mules spiking up at that sort of 4,000 mark as these mules do their back and forth trips. But has he got the infrastructure to spend it? Not quite. He's actually supply blocked, so that's a real shame. Scans coming down for AimieW. He's got a lot of battlecruiser. I'd like to see them active. They're not really doing you much good at home. So, you know, walking them around the edge of the map, coming in here, shooting these, and then dancing up into the men when the Marines come to try and defend, and just back and forth until eventually you have to tactical jump out of there is what I would like to see. It's a big old army for Griffin, and you know, both of these players are fast approaching maxed out. It's AimieW with the significant worker advantage, and has got a substantial gas income advantage because of that. No gas being mined on the third here, notably. So the battlecruisers are going to fly out. I don't know about going straight across the middle of the map. Where are they going to appear? Here. So right in the middle of the man, the problem with this is he needs to run straight away now. He's done this sort of tactical jump, so he can't jump out, and if these Marines stim forward, they're going to snipe all of these battlecruisers, and that's just painful to watch. So AimieW, you know, you needed to start running as soon as you appeared, but look, this is more like it. Abuse this ledge. Just, you know, go back, kill these workers. The Marines have got such a long way to walk, and then you can just come back up here and just be obnoxious. That's the way to get maximum value from these. Blinking right into the middle of the men. Look, this command center is going to burn down. That's sad. But you've significantly dented your opponent's gas income. He's only going to be mining off 1 gas momentarily. and does finally get the repair on this. But look, there's only one worker in this gas, none in here. There's no gases here. So all he can really build is Marines with that mighty mineral income that he's got, although he does have some gas in the bank. So yeah, it's a bit, the macro here is a bit ugly, isn't it? You know, this, no gas, there isn't a fourth, there isn't a fifth, we're 15 minutes in. The man is sort of mined out, but the gas, it's nasty, isn't it? There's 18 of 6 mining here, no second gas. There's nothing, I don't know. There's nothing in production. He does have 3-3 for the Marines, and he is maxed out, so you'll forgive the nothing in production. But, you know, like answers on a postcard, what could you be doing? You've got all these idle workers, you've got money in the bank, you're maxed out, you like your Marines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barracks you've got. In the event that you lose all these Marines, how long is it going to take you to rebuild them? Quite some time. So what you could be doing is just building another 10 barracks. Just saying, this is not that good. I don't know that this is going to work, Amy. There's siege tanks here, but you know, I don't know. There is a superior that's more siege tanks. I thought it was only like 3 or 4 siege tanks, but no, it's a lot of siege tanks. So yeah, this can work if he gets the tanks sieged up. If he uses the Yamato cannons on the medevacs, just drop those out of the sky so that there's no healing, then the siege tanks will go to work. And these Marines, you know, we've already seen in game 1 how quickly Marines can die to siege tank fire. Oh, Griffin moves forward. If he moves into this, he will get a bad beating. So Amy needs to be a bit careful. He's coming forward here, trying to taunt some stuff out. Needs to pull back because the siege tanks have sieged up. But his own siege tanks, they're not far enough forward. And again, I'd love for him to come in and just kill this base. The other thing he can do is he's got battle cruisers here with Yamato. You know, fly these in round the side here. Have siege tanks here so that your opponent's Marines cannot come down this ramp. Fly the BCs round the side here and just focused on these siege tanks with Yamato, and that's perfect. Even, you know, move siege tanks into this position so that with the BCs round the side here, the Marines cannot get under them. Okay, that's what he's doing. Brilliant. So now you can just bring your oh no, this is not good. Oh no, this isn't good at all. Yeah, I don't really know about this. So these Marines are going to walk into a lot of siege tank fire here, and this is not going to be an efficient way to trade. You can see a lot of them dying, but a lot of them are still standing. So it does look like Griffin's just got enough numbers with these 3-3 Marines to overwhelm. The tactical jump home is okay. I wouldn't have minded a tactical jump to just here. But yeah, gets out of there, and that's not bad. Both players have an enormous bank. So AimieW, you know, you can rebuild. Are you rebuilding? Not really. You know, the last time I checked, you had 3 starports, Banshees coming out, which is, I don't know why. You know, you've got a huge bank. You could have 6 of these starports, and you could be building battle cruisers 6 at a time. But really, he needs to work on maximizing what he gets done with those battle cruisers. Needs more gas, presumably. No, he doesn't. He's got a load of gas. He's got all the gas in the world. Just needs to spend it. This base he needs to pay some attention to. Griffin's macro is atrocious. What's happening here? Like, this mule has been dropped, isn't even mining. Not that it matters. He's got all the money in the world. You know, what is happening here? What is happening? The Ghost Academy is coming down. Cloak is being researched. Presumably that is Cloak for Banshee, or is it? No, it is Cloak for Ghosts. So maybe we're going to see some nukes in this game. Nukes massively effective against Marines if you can land them. So I don't know, really. It seems to just have stagnated a little bit. Griffin is going to suicide the workers across the map. I don't mind it, given how much money you've got. It's going to allow you to get a much bigger army. I quite like this from AimieW. Just the wall of planetaries would make it very, very difficult for Marines to push up into here, because the planetaries would just gun them down pretty badly. I'll tell you what he's doing is he's freeing up supplies so that he can build a bigger army. So 9 at a time he is cranking out Marines now. And as I said, don't hate it, but I would have preferred if, given how much money you've got, if each of those workers had built a command center before you went, you know, one here, one here, one here, and then just about 3 or 4 scattered about the place, so that you could drop mules. Oh, battlecruiser blink in here, one on its own against this many Vikings. It doesn't end well. So, what are the upgrades like, AimieW, for these battlecruisers? Non-existent. You don't have any. Why not? We are 20 minutes in. You've got battlecruisers. Why are there not air upgrades for these? Why are these not 3-3? I don't know. Neither are there any ground upgrades. Meanwhile, interestingly enough, Griffin has got 3-3 for the bio, has got +1 armor and +3 ground attack. So pretty feisty, really. Is that ground attack or is that air attack? I can't even remember. Can't even remember what the icons look like. There's 2 nukes in production, and I want to see nukes. More SCVs sent to their death. Yeah, nukes would be a good thing, wouldn't they? Oh, grim. Oh, meanwhile, AimieW's own workers are heading out to do something. Not entirely sure what. Yeah, with this many planetaries, you know, tough to see how Griffin can end this game. Very hard to push into that, but at the same time, AimieW doesn't seem to be in any hurry to move out. I'd love to see these Banshees actually do something. You know, he's got a bunch of Banshees. I'd like to see him get Cloak for those and just come in and wreck. You know, just focused on CCs. If he kills all the CCs, given that his opponent has sacrificed all of his SCVs, if AimieW can come in with the Cloak Banshees and just snipe the command centers, Griffin's in a world of trouble. He sniped the command centers, and then, you know, if you focused on a few supply depots, your opponent can't actually build anything. So, you know, that's something he could do. What a weird game. You know, the only thing in production is planetary fortresses. There's some Marines moving out here. If they find this, that would be sort of vaguely comedic. Griffin doesn't have a 3rd base yet, for reasons best known to himself. These ghosts are just wandering about. I think Griffin saw them, but maybe not. I don't know where the ghosts are going. Up here, nuke. Wow. Is what everybody wants to see. These Marines are going to die reasonably sharpish. The ghosts are going dear knows where. I mean, what are they doing over here? There's nothing over here. There's scans flying everywhere. Scan this, scan that. Yeah, all good. I would really like to see one of these ghosts just dropped out of a medevac here and just land a nuke here. And you'll level all of these supply depots, will all be gone, and Griffin doesn't have any SCVs to replace them, and he doesn't have enough supply to build the SCVs to replace them. So that would kind of be funny. That is a lot of scans. So assuming that's Griffin dropping scans, he's going to run out of energy on his command centers, which means that he doesn't have. Now's the time, AimieW. All those scans mean he doesn't have any scan energy left, so he cannot see your ghosts. Cannot. That isn't enough Vikings to beat 4 battlecruisers, so long as the battlecruisers actually shoot. Come on. Oh no, it's painful. They're not shooting. Finally, they start shooting, but I think the Vikings might have actually done enough damage to. Oof. Nah. That was a bit ugly, wasn't it? Those Vikings they shouldn't have got any battle cruisers. 0 is the number of battle cruisers you should have lost there. Okay, where did he go? Did he just go home? I don't. What is happening? What is happening? Please, somebody do something. Ghosts, nuke something. Please. Banshees, cloak up and go and wreck face. AimieW doesn't have enough siege tanks. I'll put that out there. This is a travesty. Right, Griffin, with all the supply in the world, he's dropping scans left and right. This ghost is just going to walk in here and get obliterated by a siege tank. Oh, how is he? What? I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. He's got so many planetaries over here, but there's only the one over here. With these workers, with 26 workers repairing it, that planetary will trade well. But I really want to see something happen. Okay. Missed the launch. So the planetary goes down super fast. It does look like the nuke is going to land. It is. Boom. And the ghost will be able to finish off the siege tanks pretty quickly. Griffin, he does not have scans. This ghost is doing nothing useful. I believe AimieW has got another nuke ready to go. I would have preferred the nuke inside the main base, just taking out the production so that Griffin was not able to rebuild his stuff. I want to see a nuke, a defensive nuke at home to just peg this stuff back. The ghost is coming home, but it's going to run out of cloak energy before too long. Where's the nuke? Where's the nuke? No one knows. I think the ghost is going to die. What? I don't really know what to say about this. I mean, all of these Marines are very low on health, so a siege tank could just do so much damage to them. You know, the splash damage from... Oh, burrow it! Burrow it! The splash damage from a siege tank would just do so much hurt. Although the medevacs have got plenty of energy, but yeah, just a couple of siege tanks would make so much difference here. Anyway, this ghost is going to eventually get shot in the face. There's nothing really in production. A couple of widow mines for AimieW. You know, it's still unclear how Griffin is going to beat 7 kills, nasty. 1 widow mine hit, 7 dead Marines. It's good. It's unclear what Griffin's going to do about these planetaries, but you know, yeah, I don't think it's going to matter because he's going to take out all the production. AimieW, again, you've kind of snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Not really clear how. I don't know. Another nuke here would have been awesome. Something would have been awesome. BC's actually killing stuff over here would have been awesome. I don't know. More scans. What's he done with all of these CCs? You know, gather up your workers, start rebuilding. You're building nothing. Nothing's being built. Nothing. I don't like what. How, one supply depot. Right. I don't know. Planetaries, is it? Yeah. No time for these to become planetaries. The planetaries you have are going to be quite hard to kill, but you don't have anything left to repair them with, so I think this is enough Marines that they will fall. Yeah, and there's quite a lot of healing from these medevacs, so planetary fortress with 33 kills. Oh yeah, that is... The DPS from Stim Marines is the highest of anything in the game, I believe. More planetary action, racking up the kills pretty quickly, but it just isn't going to be enough. And I think this is surely going to be GG. Well, yeah. Yeah, you know, you've got one more planetary, you're building 1 barracks, but you just didn't. You didn't damage your opponent's production. So I don't even know what to say about that game. I'll be honest. I don't even know what to say. Other than what have I just watched? Yeah, caps indeed. Arguably appropriate. What's he building down here? Now finally he starts the production of all the barracks in the world, but you know, you could have been and should have been doing this several minutes ago, and you weren't. So Griffin's going to win with 12 minerals in the bank. He can't even afford to build a worker, you know, and really to have lost to that, hang your head in shame. 334 Marines killed. Oh no, quite a lot of those were workers. I say quite a lot. He never even was saturated on 3 bases, so maybe not that many after all. Yeah, I guess this is a sign for me to revise. Yeah, probably. GG.